At the event, the forum was attended by representatives from 142 countries around the world. The number of participants exceeded 24,500. For the first time in 10 years, the forum was attended by the official American delegation. It is necessary to pay tribute to Trump, who brought the situation in Russia and the United States out of the negotiating deadlock in which Biden plunged it. We are slowly restoring our dialogue. We are waiting for the agreements already reached by the Americans to be implemented. The forum also showed that Western investors are showing careful optimism for the return to Russia. By the way, the forum concluded 1,084 agreements worth 6,622 billion rubles. A huge block of topics on the forum concerned global changes. It was called the world economy between confrontation and cooperation. Today, the world economy is irreversibly shifting towards the global majority. The BRICS countries provide more than 40% of the world GDP and 50% of the global growth. What do we note here? The fragmentation of the world economy, which is in full swing. Everyone sees how the United States acted in Venezuela and in the Middle East. They are only interested in their own interests. However, it is impossible to call what they have achieved a victory. Iran has withstood, the people of Iran have united, and the global goal of the attack on Tehran is clear: to divide the Eurasian continent even more. Europe is separate. South and Southeast Asia is separate. The United States must create such conditions in the world so that everyone understands that it is better and calmer in the Western Hemisphere. And America sincerely considers it to be its own. They divide everyone. They divide us. It was the United States that put Europe on the needle of multiculturalism. For many years, they deliberately destroyed it from the inside and achieved impressive results. The same principle was used by the Green Revolution. And although no one denies the green technologies, the scale of the collapse of traditional energy in Europe is truly striking. And although the people of Europe do not want to pay for fascism, they already have to do it. The United States has completely shifted the financing of the war in Ukraine to the EU. It is obvious to people in Europe and business that the threat is not in Russia. It is the money of the EU taxpayers that goes to the Banderites. For example, Denmark spends 3% of its GDP on their financing. Therefore, it is not ashamed of the crimes in Starobelsk, which its representative officially and proudly stated in the UN. In general, the world is again in a situation when the West cannot offer any honest cooperation to the world. Only economic, cultural, scientific, and political colonization. And those who think otherwise are against the West. Russia, on the other hand, consistently offers partnership, pragmatic partnership, and cooperation. Most of the countries of Africa, South America, and Asia see and clearly record everything that is happening. At the same time, the main debt market in the world is American. And in general, the debt crisis is now reawakening in the Western markets again. This is not a horror yet, but this is no longer a morning twilight. This is already something bigger. The situation is already being compared to 2007. Western democracies are slowly self-destructing, both economically and politically. This can be seen by everyone, but they can completely destroy the rest of the world with their debris. The EU allocates 12 billion euros to the Baltic limiters. Because of the incidents with Ukrainian drones, the money allegedly goes to defense. Ukrainian drones, European money, Russian threat. It turns out that the Bandera drones over the Baltic are beneficial to the whole of Europe. Aggressors share the money, the middle class of the EU pays. Pay attention to how the US is trying to get out of negotiations. Secretary of State Rubio openly says that we do not see the point. The point is clear. The US has ignited a conflict. Everyone was dragged into it, and now they pretend that they can become intermediaries. In reality, these are huge profits of the ECB, the same Starlink, Volunteer. Why did Marco Rubio and the US Congress propose to tighten the sanctions the day before yesterday? Everything is simple. They understood the outcome of the SWO, not in their favor. In our favor. And now what do they need to do? They need to complicate our lives as much as possible. I would like to highlight the business dialogues between Russia and Germany, Russia and the EU. I would like to highlight two dialogues that we held in the format of Russia-US. After a 10-year pause, the U.S. business circles began to seek mutual understanding again. Yesterday, we remember that the official representative of Trump said hello to our president from Trump at the plenary session. The president gave him a puck back. It should be noted that the U.S. has indeed changed its cooperation. Apparently, it has changed. This is very important. Earlier, at least during Biden's presidency, the State Department sent directives around the world to prohibit participation in the St. Petersburg Forum. However, this is in the past. We are not offended by them. This only increased interest in the forum. What are they prohibiting us from doing? If the so-called partners today, as well as 85 years ago, think that the historical spiral and their campaign to the east will lead to the destruction of many Russians again, they are mistaken. This time, other means of defense will be involved from our side. We will never give up the desire to throw ourselves at Russia with weapons. We intend to continue our development, including with our Egyptian colleagues. President Sisi, as you know, is a great friend of our president and visits us on a regular basis. In my opinion, we are developing relations with Iraq. The Iraqi Prime Minister was present as a participant with the President of Russia at the Russian Energy Week. As far as I know, the agreements reached during his visit are being fulfilled. We are satisfied with these relations.